In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, Yo Peace, and Omega.
All right, Fancore, this is MSK. We're back, kind of. What we're going to do is something a little different. Probably not so different because we've done it a couple of times, but this is going to be a special episode, a flashback episode from last year's Sunrise City Comic Con 2022, where we talk about DC, Marvel. We have some special guests. We got Pete from Hempire, great dude. And we also got some comedians from Dade County Comedy. So, yeah, check it out.
This is Fanatically Correct. We're a podcast. I'm your host, Omega.
Yo, Peace.
And our special guest,
Pete.
There we go. Pete. From Hempire. Check out his podcast as well. He's for real. We just had
that's the real
episode with him. That's a real podcast.
That's a real podcast.
That's why he gets to be in the comfy chair.
That's why he gets the comfy.
He's got a producer. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
You got to see my trailer in the back.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
There we go. That trailer's covered in rain right now.
No thanks to you guys. We'll fix this next year.
It's all right.
So, and then they just parked, so we have another guest coming in, like I said, Brax Tinker, comedian, so it's going to be fun. We're going to talk Marvel, DC, everything in between. So pretty much we're going to talk everything that's happened since last year. We were here and did this conversation. Last year we had separate panels. We had a Marvel panel, we had a DC panel. Now it's just easier to mash it all up together and just do a superhero panel.
This is not a regular thing, which is we're going to talk as much as we can, but we would like some input from you guys.
Yes.
As much as you guys want.
Yeah, have a few faces here from our Saturday morning cartoon this morning, and that's pretty much how we run. We do have the mic podium up there, so if you really want to, some center of attention, want to get your voice on the mic, we can also just stand up and shout as, interjection and suggestions. Or
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
That earns you
good luck.
Some erasers, some comic books. We got fun stuff like cereal, some candy stuff. So anybody who likes or shares or whatever, we're guilting you. Just that QR code right there will get it done for us.
Right.
So yeah, we'll get started. Last year, it was fun. Like I said, we did that in two separate panels. This is going to be more of like a quiz of what Pete has and hasn't seen.
It's going to be a short quiz.
Is that what we're doing?
I don't think we have mafia superheroes yet. I guess Hawkeye is probably the first thing.
Well, now you just told everybody about my new treatment. So
we got Daredevil's probably going to be. We'll see.
Hey, it looks pretty interesting. We got them back and everything.
We're going to be happy with that. 18 episodes.
It's going to be interesting is the word because I'm not sure if Disney is going to get as crazy.
Probably not, knowing their history.
Even though they can go an R, but I don't think they'll go R.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I guess we'll start a little bit with looking forward to what's to come, and we'll go over some of the things that we've had happen since last year. But with things to come, we got She-Hulk starts next week. And there you go. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
I am. I don't care about the CGI. I'm easy.
We're not here to judge.
I'm probably the easiest on our podcast. When you listen to episodes, when it comes to superheroes specifically, I'm probably the easiest one on there. I really like superhero stuff. I won't say everything is great, but almost all of it is worth my one-time watch. I sat through Morbius, so let's just leave it at that. And alone, because I got stood up by somebody. His little brother. He never listens to the episode of it, but I hope he listens to this one.
Yeah, he won't.
His little brother stood me up at that movie.
He won't.
And side joke, he asked me if I was doing Halloween Horror Nights this year. I said no, but I should have told him I was and not shown up. Yes. And made him pay for the ticket and not shown up. That would have been even better.
You have a great idea.
I mean, he just doesn't follow through. He doesn't follow through.
That would have been great. But sweet revenge. So yeah, but I get it. She-Hulk, a lot of people aren't liking the CGI. I like it when they change it up. I like it when they make it different. Have you guys seen anything? What are you looking forward to in She-Hulk? The reason I brought it up is because of Daredevil. Because they've already given away and shown Daredevil, and I don't think it's going to at all be obviously in the way that Daredevil was presented before because of just the premise of the show. So
Hard to what they did in the movie.
Exactly. But he's a great lawyer.
He is a great lawyer.
Which explains everything, that he's just a great lawyer.
I was excited.
You got that reference? You saw Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, there we go. That's
Well, this is what we're doing all day. I'm sorry. I apologize right now. Your piece is not part of that. Part of
Most
that.
apologies you can have are not going to.
No, I know.
They can't cover it.
I know.
We're all right.
What am I looking forward to? It's hard. I feel like this new phase that we're going into, it's a little different than what we got. Just because I don't think it doesn't seem like they're
coherent. It's all over the place.
They seem like they're making it up as they go along. I feel like in the first phases, they kind of knew where they wanted to go. I feel like right now they're scattered all over the place. Some things might fix it at the end, towards the end of it, but I feel like they're scattered.
So right now we're specifically on Marvel.
What I'm looking for in Marvel, I'm looking forward to Black Panther 2. That's what personally I'm looking forward to.
Everyone seen that trailer already? Yeah. That does look, especially considering that we've lost the main character. That definitely has a very interesting look to it. I know something from the comic books, which is a big deal. I mean, they changed the name of the city and all that, but the Wakanda Atlantis War is a very big thing that happened in the comic books.
Yep.
So there's a lot of speculation. And obviously, they have to, and we already know that they confirmed that they will be sending off T'Challa's character, how that's going to play into it. Because he played into the war in a very different way in the comic books, specifically directly between him and Namor. So I don't know if they do an off-screen thing. I don't know if they do a CGI thing or what they plan to do, but I have a feeling that his death will lead to that war. And somehow the Atlantis version of the comic books will be taking the blame for whatever happened. Either it's a rogue member of the society, or so we hope to cause that conflict. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But the way that trailer's set up, it looks like that one. Hopefully they take their time much more with the CGI. It does have a great premise. That is on the Marvel end of things to come. That I think is definitely something I too am looking forward to. We got so much on the Disney Plus and all that. Right around the corner, like I said, we do have a She-Hulk. We just had Miss Marvel. We had little things. I think Thor: Love and Thunder. I enjoyed it. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't get to that.
Don't worry. So you're like, anybody who here see Thor: Love and Thunder? Round of applause.
Yeah.
So not everyone. So we're always gonna have for now. But so with the things that have just happened, I think we're looking forward to something strong. And I think as much as I think I will enjoy She-Hulk and other people will, I think Wakanda Forever, the new Black Panther, is going to be the one that's going to rebump the Marvel, the way everyone's feeling about Marvel right now.
And it needs an uptick.
Yeah. No, further to what you said about the incoherent, I think it's all Secret Wars. And I think, granted, I think it's a great excuse too. In fairness, being able to exactly, it's straight up. It's not planned out the way they did with the Thanos and saga, but with this one we have is obviously everyone that they've shown us, everyone that they've mentioned, everyone that they're hinting at, they're not all going to be in Secret Wars. We're going to get whatever we're going to get, plus some things we didn't know was going to happen or couldn't predict at that time. But it's such a big ball of yarn right now that will just unfold. And I think it's messy on purpose. I think it's messy so when the time comes to film that, which they already announced it, so they're definitely doing it, whoever they basically can get on contract is who will be in that movie, is what I feel. I feel that the Kang Dynasty, which leads apparently up to it from 5 to 6, that's going to be the more planned out. Like they have specific people that are going to be in that, considering that he's a character in Loki, he's a character in the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So saying that, that's where I feel we'll get a little bit more coherent storyline, but I think Secret Wars is going to be a big hot ball of mess, Sony properties, Fox properties. Go ahead, just stay it out or come to the mic, however you feel. It's a lot of property.
I just want to ask you, where do you think like the MCU is headed with Kang? What do you think Kang Dynasty is going to be about? Maybe what your prediction of what the plot's going to be? Secret Wars, I already know. Maybe guesses also for what that plot could be too. But how do you think Loki season 2 and stuff like that fits into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars?
Loki's gonna
season 2's coming up.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
I don't know if I got some big. Actually, I actually planned a little one for this one. I'll share dates. Loki 2. Bear with me. I should have put them in alphabetical order. No. I think in order of release. Actually, I don't think they have a release date for that yet. So there went that.
Summer 2023.
Summer 2023. There we go. Thank you very much. He's on top of the game. Your name is, sir?
JC.
JC just joined the podcast. He's our data guy. JC, now you got Google front right corner of the episode. Thanks for the input. But the bad thing is a lot of things did not lead up to Multiverse of Madness. I enjoyed that movie. I understand why a lot of people didn't. And I feel that a lot of things didn't pay off. So it's almost what your question is with the Kang Dynasty. It's going to be the same thing. Whatever we got in Loki, whatever we're going to get in Wasp and Ant-Man 2 and Quantumania, there's probably going to be a few more appearances.
I hope that Quantumania with Ant-Man, I think that's the one that might explain more of what's actually going to come.
Well, of that version of Kang, because we have variants and that sort of thing. That was the big thing that Loki introduced us to, was variants. And then Marvel kind of hasn't explained itself, but they kind of did two types of variants. You have time variants, and then you have multiverse variants. And the weird thing is that either one, they could like not look like the person and be a completely different looking person. So it's
convenient.
Yeah, exactly. Again, the convenience. I mean, I think it was. I think
you don't know what's going on.
Feige did it. Feige grabbed it. Goes, if we do the next big, and which everyone, that's why everyone was able to predict that's where he was going. Yeah. He's like, oh, the next thing's gonna be Secret Wars, because it makes sense. It's such too many contracts, too many people that to let go, people that might be able to get back in time. Like, I'm willing to do a betting pool at some point as to who the original comes back for Secret Wars. Almost positive at least two. Is it the two everyone thinks? We'll find out. I think everyone thinks it'll be Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, which would be Robert Downey Jr. By that time, exactly.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Black Widow, exactly, or Hawkeye, because Hawkeye's kind of shelved for now, but he's alive. But but it could be a variant of Hawkeye, a variant of Black Widow. Like, so they'll play with that. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna get. Obviously, would be the ones that no longer exist in the universe that we've been watching, the MCU, or there'll just be a variant from another time or another multiverse, which we already got in What If, the animated series. That's right. You seen that one? You seen What If?
Only one episode.
One episode.
How would Guardian of the Galaxies fit into all that?
Yeah, I think they're about to get kind of shelved.
Yeah, I think that. Well, this is the last movie, so
and I think James Gunn's going to be done with them. So if we get, I think we'll get a Guardian.
A new version of Guardian.
Yeah, well, no, but I think I will get one of the live action. I'm not just like obviously Rocket's easy, right. Groot's easy. There's CGI. So I mean the voices. Vin Diesel and the one who already works for it. I mean Vin Diesel, he doesn't work for it, but Vin Diesel
works for that contract. That's what he works
exactly. For. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Bradley Cooper just to come into a sound studio for a day to do something for a cameo. But I mean, as far as like, I doubt it'll be Star-Lord. Probably good chance it'll be like either Gamora, Nebula, Mantis, but one of those live actions will come back for Secret Wars. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, we know things in the realm, all of us who follow, like, social media, all of that. We know, like, Drax, Batista, he's not going to come back. No. I'm pretty sure Chris Pratt's going to come back. So we already know it's not going to be either of them, most likely. As far as who they'll come, they'll bring someone back. I'm sure they'll get someone to come back in there.
Definitely they are going to get a show. Like,
they're getting a show because we have a Christmas, which they're not promoting at all. It just keeps making all the timelines. It's on James Gunn's social media, but it's this Christmas, something coming out with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Supposedly.
It should be the promo for the movie, bro.
That's what I'm guessing. It's going to be some like half-hour like side story.
We got
what you got to ask? Which one? Input.
So, since there's going to be new Avengers movies coming out of like the Secret War, even though like a lot of the Avengers died and stuff like Captain America, Black Widow, like who are you gonna get for the new
Captain America's on the moon, but continue. He's not dead.
Because like there's been like shows about people that like there's like original Avengers and there's new ones. Like we don't know if like Peter Parker is gonna take the place of Iron Man instead in the new movies.
Which Peter Parker?
Okay, that's a good question. Tom Holland though, but and for Captain America, has anybody here seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
To be continued.
I'm pretty sure.
So as we announced, it looks like we got two. We got Brax Tinkler and Mike Valdez, right? Mike Valdez and Mike Valdez. So we got two of our comedians from the Dade County Comedy Club now joining us. So we're gonna grab a spare chair for one of you.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. My co-host has it. So yeah, we're basically just nerding it up. Marvel, DC. You could be like, you can grab this one now. One this way. So, and then we'll share a mic. So you can go ahead and grab that mic. Sorry, buddy. We'll get back. Do you have you actually have a question there?
Oh,
So think it. Yeah, and ask the question. And when those Avenger movies come out, you're probably
I did get a star
in high school.
What just that? Hey, I'm the star today, sir. You ask me questions.
So you're good, man. I'll just play all your drops that are on your computer or whatever. Where's the fart button?
So what's really about to happen is Yo Piece is about to just take a nap. Just kick him right in the knee if he starts snoring. No issue. Don't worry about it. That's about to happen. Well, in that case, I'll take 2 beers and a shot. So the question, okay, let's finish the question. So you're talking about all these dead Avengers, if they're coming back for the other Avenger movies.
Yeah, because we know we're getting She-Hulk, and we know probably for the new Avengers, the original Hulk might be still in the Avengers, or maybe he's just gonna retire and just stay by himself. And then the person who takes place as the Hulk.
What's your question, Spider-Man? Or what's your statement? Wrap it up.
So the question is, are we gonna get new Avengers in the new Avengers Secret Wars?
Oh, well, we're definitely gonna get a team lineup change. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen.
Probably new Captain America.
Some of them, we already got a new Captain America.
Black Widow.
Yes, we got Black Widow. We got Winter Soldier, who hopefully by then will no longer be called Winter Soldier.
And we'll call him the White Wolf.
Exactly. Hopefully the White Wolf.
Ironheart next.
Yep. Well, that's gonna happen in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
So we were just talking before you guys came in of some of the stuff that we're looking forward to, and we started with Marvel apparently. Jumped because She-Hulk's right around the corner, so we're being fair. So we talked about I'm sure you saw the Wakanda Forever trailer, looking good. Let's get a little bit. So introducing for the podcast, we have with us from Dade County Comedy Club, Mike Valdez and Brax Tinkler. What your experience? What's going on as far as Marvel? What are you guys looking forward to give some?
Well, for me, what I'm looking forward to is Wakanda Forever. I think Black Panther is the best of the movies that I've seen so far. But yeah, at the same time, this is probably not the best place to say this, but I have a lot of superhero fatigue right now. Yeah. So it's very hey, can we just have a movie about a guy eating cereal or something? For the
we made that movie this morning during Saturday morning cartoons. Us eating cereal.
Jeez, man,
See, that was actually one of the number one bull points in the little outline that we kind of winged. But was that because my co-host, him and our other co-host MSK who's not with us today, they are always talking about the super fatigue. I am one of those guys. I'm all in. Keep bringing it. I like it coming, but I'm not a Fast and Furious fan. I don't care if you like it. I'm insulting it. Where I'm just blatantly how you not like these movies? These are great movies. No. I understand.
Hey, we're all family.
You're all family. We're all family. I am Groot. I think the Oscar goes for I am Groot because he made me believe he was Groot. But
how many times can you say it? Show that much emotion?
Yeah, I know, and Vin Diesel. But yeah, so I get the fatigue. I don't have it, but I get how others are having it. I do feel, and that's what we'll talk about it. We'll go kind of light because there's kids in the room. My nephew, I don't care. I'll ruin his childhood for them. But The Boys, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
I do Invincible. Oh, that's I know it's animated, but I knew you'd seen that because you the beatings and the blood and guts. And for all our Spanish speakers on our podcast, we don't call him Invincible. We call him Picadillo. So we watch, Grounded Meat because that's every episode.
Nice.
Worse. He was worse than the one before. But so I feel I feel everyone has super fatigue from the Marvel and the DC stuff.
Sure. A lot of what you were saying, The Boys and things like that, I would say that they use superheroes as a tool to really tell a bigger story about other things. Because the things that I got from The Boys, for example, is her name? I think her name is Stargirl.
Starlight.
Yeah, Starlight. I know it's in the wrong place to say the wrong name here. Okay,
Start getting the tar and feather now.
As someone who grew up in a very conservative Christian home, I felt exactly what she was feeling through everything, and going through these conventions, and then realizing even the people preaching don't even believe what they're talking about. All these different things. And that's more than just zips and zaps and booms and pows. Sure, there is that, at the end of the day, there's a lot of, a guy gets his head crushed, by a woman's legs, which is how I want to go out. But there's a lot of things, but yeah, anyway.
Earmuffs.
Definitely.
Earmuffs. But go ahead, what do you want to? throw it out there. Anybody else want to say something?
I just want to ask one more question. Do you think with the introduction of like afterlives in the MCU with like Valhalla and like the Duat and Moonlight and stuff like that, does that make some Marvel films less valuable, or the deaths of characters in Marvel film less valuable than like other TV shows like The Boys or Invincible, because now they can come back at any time technically?
Good point.
Yeah,
So
that's a great point.
That's really good.
Yeah, we want, for some reason, Quicksilver and the kick-ass actor version of Quicksilver is like the only death that sticks in Marvel. So we, like, that's what we were talking about earlier in Secret Wars, about like probably bring back Robert Downey Jr. And Chris Evans for Secret Wars. 4 or 5 years from now, they're like, all right, I can use an extra paycheck.
I don't think it hurts it. I think it does open the storytelling aspect of it. It opens the storytelling aspect of it. It can play into a lot of comic book things. The problem is, are they going to write it the right way instead of just writing it just to write whatever they want to write?
Yeah, I guess to his point, like, it doesn't feel finite. So a lot of times in the series where it's grounding, when they kill off a character, example, I'll bring up, the kids won't know about this yet. You have something to look forward to when you hit middle school. Like Game of Thrones, people die, they die, for the most part, which then make it wicked when a character or two does come back in a very intense way, because like, okay, that's, wild, even if you kind of predicted it.
I mean, we can do that with anything, though.
Yeah.
We can do that with any type of...
But it kind of feels like no matter what, and I get to his point of those, again, for me, it works. When it comes to superheroes, I'm easy. But I get what they're saying, is that it doesn't feel as finite, so you don't feel like, he'll be back. You really get that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, it's always rewritten, retold,
The Punisher's
package.
Everybody's been dead.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the rules in Marvel was the only two people that were supposed to stay dead were Uncle Ben and Bucky, and they've already resurrected.
Right.
Yeah.
So Uncle Ben is literally.
And Uncle Ben needs to stay dead, because we need to see that.
There's a multiverse version of Uncle Ben. So
You didn't see the teaser trailer for the new Uncle Ben movie?
it comes on right before Pennyworth. The man that made the man that made the man. Uncle Ben.
Technically speaking, you could argue that basically the problem with any kind of mainstream comic book is that the stories are handed off to different hands.
Yeah.
It's not one creator that's like, this is my story. No, it's like 500 different people telling different stories. It's like, but I wanted that character to live, so for the sake of my story, we're bringing that bitch back.
Yeah.
Good point.
I get that.
I'm actually curious as to what you guys, what Spanish food you call Game of Thrones. Is it ropa vieja? Like, what? I was thinking about it, and it's like, well, they are wearing a lot of old clothes in that show.
That's
so.
the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
The Red Wedding is definitely ropa
It's a
vieja.
lot, bro. It's a lot. That show is too much
That's
brown
ropa
for me.
vieja.
It's too much brown.
We got a man in the back.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of foods have incest or not, but we'll
Coming to
figure
your store near
We
you.
are Cuban. We'll figure it out. Who knows?
Ropa vieja with a side of arroz con mango.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Arroz con mango. That's, wow. He's spot on. Spot on. That is going to be the side title for the Secret Wars. No, for Secret Wars. It'll be Marvel's Arroz con mango. That's basically what we're going to get.
Yes, sir.
It's a good segue. What I wanted to ask about was Secret Wars. Maybe I missed it, but are they using the 80s storyline of Secret Wars or the newer Secret Wars?
Oh, at this point, it's going to be a completely studio version of Secret Wars.
They're going to take from both.
Whatever they feel like writing.
Whatever they can manage.
Yeah. Well, because what we were saying earlier, for those who joined us.
War wasn't like
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's just a convenient situation for Kevin Feige to basically, when the time comes, we'll make some contracts, and whoever we brought in, we'll bring back again. Whoever we can't, we won't, and we'll bring in some new faces. We might get then Tom Cruise as a Tony Stark. We might get back Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I'm telling you, man, Wesley Snipes is Blade. Like, he still could play Blade with no problem. And I like Merchant. I think he's a great actor. But I would have loved some type of version of Snipes to come back, because, and this is one of the things I always hate. And it's, superhero movies are doing this like crazy. DC did a Wonder Woman. Marvel does like with Black Panther. Marvel did this. It's the first of this. So if Batman's like the first Black Super, like, no, Blade. And then like Deadpool, the first rated R, no, Blade. Like, just like, give credit where it's due, and
we have to be realistic. They kind of saved Marvel.
Yeah. No, Blade did.
They saved Marvel.
Yep. He made them the money they needed to make.
Money-wise, they saved them. And there was nothing else for them.
Yeah.
They took off the Marvel studio because Spider-Man was the selling point of the Marvel comics before everything else happened. But when it came to movies, Blade is what they kick off.
Yep.
And they completely forgot about the poor guy.
Yeah, we don't have Blade, we don't have Punisher, we don't have Daredevil because that was the litmus test for what Netflix could do. And I will see what Disney does with it. Hopefully they give it credit. Yeah, everyone's scared of that. Everyone's scared it's not going to be what Netflix did with it, but we're hoping they do. DC, let's switch it up. DC. What in the past year, either A, and we'll hear from the comedians for a second, and then we'll let Pete jump in. DC wise, and I have a feeling one's going to be. What are you looking forward to, or what is the last thing you saw that was like really impressive?
So, hi, I'm Brax. I'm a comedian. I feel like a little bit of an imposter right now because
you said that like an Alcoholics Anonymous, the way you say it, and I'm a comedian, like it's something, something you're working on.
Yeah.
Hi, Brax.
Yeah, I have not been to AA.
Share, Brax, share.
No shame. No, I was just going to say that I'm super excited to listen to all of you because I actually I'm not really versed in the comic superhero culture. I did see Black Panther, but I'm not, if you have to give me, I don't know if I've seen any DC ones, so I actually was
Batman?
What?
The Batman?
Yeah, okay.
Wonder Woman?
I have not seen Wonder Woman, no. So yeah, it's funny because I feel like I'm learning how to add and y'all are in calculus with all of these names and lingos and creators. So I won't take up too much time, but I did, I walked in when you were talking and I'm just curious if there's 2 things I should watch. What do you recommend?
There you go. Yeah. They're talking to you, Liam.
Talking to you. What's your name? Liam. Cool, Brax.
Are you asking like what kind of movies you watch, like DC or Marvel?
Just a name of a film or a
one
TV
DC,
show?
one Marvel.
Yeah,
Let's
one
do
DC,
it.
one Marvel.
If you can only see one Marvel movie, first thing that pops into your head, don't be ashamed of it. You don't have time to think.
What is it?
Spider-Man.
Nice.
Okay.
You see now?
I have not.
You have, wow.
I'm telling you,
can
I'm
cheat
just
yourself.
digging myself in a hole right
You
now.
can cheat yourself.
Wait, relax. Relax.
All right.
Okay, Spider-Verse, and then
DC.
Yo, Peace, you want my belt? Pacinto.
Say a show.
that's
To be a
fine.
show is fine. Go ahead.
Flash, I guess.
People say I look like him, so maybe that's a sign. I should start
Stunt double. Get some stunt double work. Do it.
Okay.
A variant. Everything's variants now.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, that's not bad.
Talk about the Flash. I'm looking forward to that movie.
Well, you looking at that movie? You looking at the press tour?
It's not really coming up.
Yeah. Oh no, they put too much. I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, we'll talk about Batwoman just for a second. And not to get like deep into like why. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't fall for it. That movie's gonna either be on HBO Max in the theaters. I promise. What's happening now is everyone's doing the same thing as what happened with the Snyderverse. Release it. They're saving all their money on their promotions now. And in about 2 or 3 years, it's either going to HBO Max or it's getting released in the theaters. You will get that version of Batwoman, especially because they already acknowledge that they're going to use the actress in something else as Batwoman. So they're going to do a tax write-off. That movie's going to come out. And I feel with the Flash, same thing. Everything that's happening personal with the actor. Set it aside. You got Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. You got a lot of things in that movie. Ben Affleck's also in there as Batman. There's too much going on in that film for DC fans for it to not happen. As far as when we like it afterwards, that's another story. But, you get a couple 2 hours of escapism, enjoy a superhero thing. If you don't like it enough to watch it again, don't. But give it a shot.
True that. Yes, sir.
So, do you remember in the one scene in No Way Home?
Go ahead.
One scene.
Electro tells Andrew Garfield, I thought you were just going to be black. There's got to be a black Spider-Man out there.
Miles Morales.
That could be a hint for the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie coming out, or Across the Spider-Verse. That could be a hint that the main villain could be Electro.
True.
Because they could be hinting that even though it's coming out next year, so I'm sure they're just like, you know what? We're not going to just tease them later on. We'll just tell them and give them a hint now.
We'll see. Something to think about.
The question is he going to be the villain, or is Spider-Man from the 2099 universe going to be the villain? Because remember, in that trailer, we see him fighting Miles, so we don't know who's going to be the main villain. Possibly.
Maybe not the villain, but maybe he's confused and he thinks that that the new Spider-Man is the villain. Maybe they're just having a disagreement on who.
Which that's a Marvel. Like I kind of like DC in a sense where villains are villains. And Marvel's doing a lot of but I understand the villain. You know what I mean? Like Marvel, like you can just make a bad guy. But like they always gotta
give him a reason.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of villain redemption. A lot of either the villain redeems or like, but I get his point. Like that's like a big thing that's happening with Marvel now. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what's happening. And a lot of the villains, Thanos. I mean, after you drive in traffic in Miami for about an hour, they're like, I think you could snap right now.
50% awesome. No traffic. I get it. Less traffic. I get it.
So I don't think that was as intentional as a lot of the other villains, but that is something that
I
we
get
feel.
It.
You know, with the Marvels. Yeah, give it back to Pete. Yeah. So we're gonna start wrapping up in about 10 minutes to the free theater Q&A, and it looks like the other comedians bailed on you. Michael's like, yeah, that's not my thing, so we'll just let Brax do it.
I don't know anything either. Goodbye.
The one, no, you're
at least she made it up.
Torture and talk trash after whatever. You know, they get a big pass.
What did you guys think of the Batman?
The Batman. Okay, round of applause for the Batman. Anyone in the audience enjoyed the Batman? Probably, and as much as I like Marvel projects, probably the best thing I've seen in the past year of superhero. My bar was really low for that. I was not expecting it to be that good.
My thing is like they've taken it so far now because like Marvel, at least when I watch a Marvel movie, it's fun. There are stakes and stuff, but like watching the Batman was so like.
Well, I'm sorry you have a lot of serotonin in your life, sir, and you're too happy to get down in Nirvana grungy with us and feel depressed for 2 hours.
I don't mind them when they take it seriously, but good Lord,
I mean, that's
was
the main
such a
difference
slog. And it was 3 hours.
Yeah.
DC is very
what a
crunchy and
difference
dark,
between
and Marvel's just very pop.
Jim Carrey Riddler and like
Yeah. No, I love the Batman. You see that one, Pete?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then from when you've done your podcast before with the dudes, like you guys are more into like the art films and like the heavier than just the basic superhero stuff. That's what that was. I mean, that was more like Joker. That was
it took
more
a minute. I had to watch it a couple of times because I wasn't sure at first. First time when I saw it, because it wasn't. It was more of, you know,
I hope the sequel's better than
like
the
an
first.
outside character almost. You know, it wasn't like a fully superhero movie. It felt like
it
definitely was a detective movie.
Yeah.
Just some things that a little bit did bother me about it, you know, just his character alone. Obviously, he's a terrible Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You can just start there.
I get, because I know I get how that version of Bruce Wayne worked for the film. I get, mírate tipo andando para atrás.
They made him really dull.
He's dancing something. Well, that's Raul over there from the Dade County Comedy Club. We'll give him a round of applause. Hopefully he's a little bit more caught up on all the fun comic book stuff.
Hey, question. Who shot first?
That's Star Wars, man. This guy.
It's owned by Marvel, is owned by Disney, and Disney also owns Star Wars.
Yeah, so he's very relevant actually. He's on the spot.
Quick question. Any foreseeable ever, not in the near future, but even in the far future, Silver Surfer coming into any of the DC?
They laid the foundation for that in the second Fantastic Four film, which now everything is canon basically because Marvel kind of jumped off of that, which DC did do it first in the CW Arrowverse.
Didn't they just tease it with Krasinski as Reed Richards?
Exactly, and they got to do a Silver Surfer story.
There's
a chair right here and a mic. Don't worry about it. Dude, this is a laid back. You're good, bro. Yeah, bro. Hey, but the stairs are on this side. We don't want to get sued.
The stairs are on
my side, behind me. We don't want to get sued.
Sure. Hey, how's it going, Rick and Morty? How you doing?
Nah, I didn't even notice this was Rick and Morty shirt. This guy's super observant. Oh, I know what kind of comic you are. You're so observant, so don't sit in the front row. I'm warning you now, apparently. Hey, what's the name of that sandwich shop again? Bears what? Hungry Bear. This guy, okay, for locals, let's see if you buy this. This guy says he'll put Hungry Bear against Sanbrusi. Against Sanbrusi. Hey, look what's sort of in the back.
Sanbrusi's a great sandwich shop, okay? Great sandwich.
So it's a sandwichery.
Huh?
Sandwichery.
Sandwicheria, whatever you want to call it. Hey, are you doing Miles Morales or are we just doing Black Lives Matter?
Hey man, don't put a quarter in him. Don't put a quarter in him. We got enough of him today. Don't ring. Yeah, don't ring. Oh, hey, don't worry. If it was your kid and I wasn't related to him, I'd treat him the same way. Don't worry about it.
You in the back, you're next.
Come on in, guys. Look, I'm sacrificing. I am sitting on the stage so you could take the ample seating.
There you go. Who's here a little bit early for the Q&A? Or Jason Font? Is that what's happening right now?
I think that's what's happening.
That's happening.
That's
So,
exactly what's
as we
happening.
wrap up the last 5 minutes, my co-host is about to take off because Jason Font needs to get retrieved.
Do I have to take off?
Yes, you do have to take off.
Oh, I have to take off?
You don't want
Hey,
to.
I've been like a super jerk. Hey, how's everyone doing here today?
Good. It's your podcast now, man.
No, it's
I'm
not
gonna
your
go to the bathroom. All yours.
All right. I mean, I could do that. I didn't get your name, but I'm sorry. Mike, hey, pleasure. Give it up for Mike, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike. Hey, sir, what's your name?
Peter.
Peter. Yeah. How's it going, Peter?
I thought it was just Pete.
Pete?
Where'd the R come from?
Where's Ann Pete?
That's what I
It
made.
felt like he walked in for 2 minutes, you sprinkled some fairy dust on you. You're like, oh, Peter. Like, you see, you guys want to
But
date?
Pete,
What's
question,
up?
where's the other Pete?
Oh, Pete and Pete.
I
took care of that. Wow, deep cuts, bro.
Deep cuts.
We're the same age.
Mike, did I take your seat?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, why did you do that? Now I look like a total jerk.
We're wrapping up in 5 minutes. I thought it'd be fun.
No, we're
talk about it on the show.
take this thing till wheels fall off. Okay, we're gonna talk about stuff. All right. Yes, sir. With the hand raised, I'm gonna be elegant and as possible and change this off the mic. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Can I go off topic from DC?
Go ahead.
I only like the Batman and the Snyder Cut. Those are the best two things.
I agree with half of you.
Please clap it up for his young lady.
Everybody give it a hand for Yo Piece, who's
Yo, take it easy.
collecting a Power Ranger for us right now.
Speaking of, so we're talking about
That's a
Batman?
general question.
Yeah.
No, back to Marvel.
9 inches.
Wait, were you talking Batman?
No, I was just.
We were, but then you walked in.
No, we're gonna talk Marvel.
Just a general question.
9
Who do you
inches.
see being the key for the next Avenger movies, or like the key hero who's gonna basically save everyone? I mean, there's Doctor Strange, obviously.
Why has only got one guy, bro?
I
Well, it's got
just
only
think
one guy.
who's going to be the key hero who's going to help them. I think it's going to be America Chavez.
You think America Chavez?
With her powers, but I could see it being Strange. I could see it being maybe Thor potentially. But I just want to hear your thoughts. Who do you think is going to be the key player?
Who do we think? Well, who do you think is going to be the bad guy?
It's Kang, obviously. But
Is it, sir? Is it? Do you guys remember when Civil War was going to happen? And the only thing it was going to be Daredevil, right? Daredevil was supposed to be like, oh, that's going to be. And what happened? What did we get, guys? Who did we get? It's Civil War. Who was the surprise in Civil War? I'll give you a hint. You're kind of
John
learning right now.
Stamos. That's who it was.
Spider-Man.
John Stamos.
John Stamos.
Everybody
John
remember
Stamos.
Uncle
John
Jesse
Stamos.
showing up in the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
Like, what in the world is happening right now? It was so weird.
John.
Yeah.
Look great.
Speaking of DC, did you guys see The Sandman yet?
No, the new series on Netflix.
Dude, my biggest gripe with that show, this is not spoiling anything, is that when he talks, there is not a single person that goes, what?
No.
Like, because he's like,
A mumbler. Oh, there's no volume.
and you're like, hey, what? What are you saying, dude?
Sometimes
Like, it's the worst.
Can we take a moment and talk about the best drip in the room right now? Can we talk about LA Lakers Spider-Man lady over here in the middle? That is the best drip, miss. You are rocking. You're knocking it. All the cosplayers are mad at you because you are so like with the drip.
Unfortunately, guys, we gotta wrap up because we do have a celebrity for the next round. But he's super cool. I don't know anybody sticking around for Jason Font. They got theirs. You kept saying you hit promoting 4 o'clock. I think they said 4:30.
I think it's 4:30.
So okay, so sometime between 4:30, apparently 4:30. Dade County Comedy Club. They're in the room around the other side, just on the other side of us, just outside the doors here.
To make up for that, guys, I'll give you 30 minutes straight of dad jokes outside.
There you go. Nothing like some good dad jokes.
All right.
Nice. So thank you for joining us, Raul, Mike, and Brax.
One last Marvel question.
Go ahead.
You mentioned in going speed talking, you mentioned Tom Cruise
As Tony
Tony
Stark.
Stark?
Yeah.
That was the original.
That almost happened. That almost happened in Doctor Strange, and yeah, he was almost the original.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it can happen. But
It
thank
was
you so
Kevin
much.
Feige.
Also.
Kevin Feige fighting. He was like, "Hey, this guy I know he's had a 30 past, but the reason we got Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man was because of not Feige. Sorry, Favreau.
Favreau fought for him,
So,
and it
yeah.
worked. And we basically have the whole MCU because of it.
Yep. So whenever
You can let Favreau do no wrong in the universe. That guy is
No,
great.
Star Wars, Mandalorian.
Forget about it.
Vice City, what's up?
initially Tom Cruise was actually like one of the actors that was like suggested to play Iron Man. But of course, for like Robert Downey Jr.'s rehab and all that stuff, I mean, that guy has literally the biggest comeback of any other actor or celebrity in history.
Yeah.
Watch Danger Zone. We're gonna end.
I don't know if you guys knew this. Tom Cruise was actually supposed to be Maverick in Top Gun Maverick. Did you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
And he was. Yeah, it's crazy.
Never heard of it.
So weird.
What's up?
Hold on. This guy's doing the Cuban goodbye in our podcast.
I'm sorry, brother. When I give you all besitos when I leave, okay?
There we go.
We'll really finish outside.
And a Sarusi sandwich. Go ahead, Liam. The more you input, the longer it's going to take for Jason Font to get in here. Yeah, so the necessity for the episode, every episode, we got to wrap it up. And wrap it up, guys. We end with a necessity. So for everyone here, because I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it, it's starring Billy Zane, but there's a wonderful whole RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. scenario in it. It's called Danger Zone. Please, everyone, treat yourself. I think it's for free on IMDb TV.
It's somewhere.
Yeah, sit through Danger Zone, and then
you tell us if it's not
when you
the
see that
biggest
movie, if you think Billy Zane would have been Iron Man, or how
Does this movie belong on the list we were talking about earlier?
Oh, you got it. It's in between his transition to watch Danger Zone. Everyone watch Danger Zone. But thank you for joining us. Make sure you guys check them out. 4:30, Dade County Comedy Club. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Did he really just recommend Danger Zone as a nerd test? You know what? That's a great movie. Anyways, The Flash. The Flash is actually going to come out very soon. This episode's going to come out before The Flash, and I'm amazed that I made it in time, because The Flash has been in development for 20-something years, and I thought that's how long this episode was going to take to air. Well, that's it for this episode. Hopefully we'll get to you guys pretty soon. We got some interesting fan core things going on. Can't wait for everyone to listen and watch. We have our first full video podcast up from the Picard season 3 review. Go check that out on YouTube. You know, we're on Twitter, Instagram. I guess we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.